Bonjour. This grammar topic, en, this is an adverbial pronoun. So first I'd like to remind you of another adverbial pronoun that we learned, and that's E, the letter Y. D'accord? So when we talked about E, that meant a few things. It meant here, there, at that place. It stands in for some place that you've mentioned already. D'accord? So it's weird because we don't truly have anything like it in English because we just have the words here and there, and we just use those adverbs straight. D'accord? So en is a little bit like that in that we don't have an equivalent in English. It stands in for some previously mentioned quantity. D'accord? And remember that we use adverbs of quantity to describe quantities of nouns. So it's basically replacing the noun that you have mentioned some quantity of. It's a little bit complicated, and it took me a long time to be able to comfortably use it. I wasn't comfortably using it, I don't think, at all in high school, nor was I using it naturally. I would be able to do the grammar activities with it. I'd be able to explain what it meant, but I wouldn't be able to use it on my own. So if you don't feel like you're picking up on this right away, that's not really an issue. You'll get it eventually. But all roughly translates, so we're going to look at some sentences. It's roughly going to translate as some, and it could be some of it or some of them, whatever we're referencing. Or it can, if it's a negative sentence, be translated as any of it, any of them. So why don't we just look at some sentences and hopefully it'll make a little more sense. So if I say to you, tu veux des biscuits? Do you want cookies? You could respond with j'en veux. Oui, j'en veux. D'accord? This translates roughly as I want some. D'accord? Or I want some of them. D'accord? I always thought of en as of it and of them, just that. So I would think I of them want. J'en veux. But it is kind of like some when there is no quantity word anyways. So these are some simple sentences. You could also say je n'en veux pas. D'accord? So hopefully you're repeating these at home. J'en veux. Je n'en veux pas. Notice just placement. This is something we've learned already, that en goes before the conjugated verb in a simple sentence. These are some simple sentences, meaning there's only one verb, veux, so it's going right in front of veux. J'en veux, je n'en veux pas. D'accord? So yeah, on the quiz, you will have to do a midi-melo, where you change the word order or set the word order correct. So you do have to know that. Now, let's look at when you have a modal verb. That's when you've got two different verbs, one conjugated and one in the infinitive. So if I say to you, tu veux des biscuits? You want some cookies? You could say, je vais en essayer. Yeah, I'll try some. Notice that it's literally, I'm going some to try, or I'm going of them to try, however you want to think of it. You can also answer in the negative. Remember that the ne pas goes around just the modal verb. Je ne vais pas en prendre. D'accord? So these always go right in front of the infinitive. That's what you have to know, that en goes before the infinitive verb. Je vais en essayer. Je ne vais pas en prendre. I'm not going to have any. Next, let's look at some composed clauses, the past tense. You've got, if I say, est-ce que tu as mangé des biscuits? You could say, oui, j'en ai goûté. Yeah, I tried some. Literally, word for word, I of them have tasted. D'accord? Now, the en, notice that it goes in front of the verb. D'accord? Past participles are not verbs. Don't give them things. D'accord? So it's going to go in front of the conjugated verb, but let's, since it's past tense, let's say it goes before the auxiliary verb, since we call that the auxiliary verb, or, the baby. D'accord? Look at the negative sentence as well. So if I say to you, tu as bu du lait? Did you drink some milk? And you want to say, no, I didn't drink any, you would say, non, je n'en ai pas bu. Je n'en ai pas bu. So, I of it have not drunk, is what you're literally saying there. And it still goes in front of the verb. The ne leads the verb phrase, and the pas goes after the conjugated verb. Je n'en ai pas bu. D'accord? All right. So it's often used with quantity words. On is often used like in tandem with a quantity word, like adverbs, your quantity nouns, and different numbers. It's going to translate directly as that quantity word. So if I say j'en veux beaucoup from that sentence before, j'en veux beaucoup, instead of meaning I want some, it means I want a lot. And here, the on does translate as of it. So I of it want a lot. D'accord. So let's look at some of these examples. In simple clauses, you've got j'en achète beaucoup. I of them buy a lot. To say I'm buying a lot or I'm buying a lot of them. See how in this sentence, basically "est" is standing for of them, which we don't have to say in English. But in French, you do. Because if you say j'achète beaucoup, French people are going to be expecting more. Like you're buying what? A lot of what? D'accord? These examples are all the same here, essentially. So in simple clauses, it's always just going to follow the same pattern that you have en before the verb and then your quantity word. So j'en achète beaucoup, j'en achète un sac, j'en achète trois. D'accord? In modal sentences, also pretty easy. En, like we said, will still go in front of the verb, and then your quantity word will go at the end after the infinitive. So you're going to say, I'm buying a lot, or I'm going to buy a lot. Je vais en acheter beaucoup. I'm going of them to buy a lot. D'accord? And say that to yourself again and again. I'm going of them to buy a lot. Remembering the English, remember that's a strategy you can use in order to remember the French. D'accord? Okay, here's the only one that's a little bit different, and that's so let's look at these two first. D'accord? Because these two make the most sense. Again, en goes in front of a for all these. J'en ai acheté, I have purchased. D'accord? I have bought. And then a bag will come after the past participle because the complement of the verb. It's the object, right? It just goes after. J'en ai acheté un sac. J'en ai acheté trois. I of them have bought a bag. I of them have bought three. The one thing that's a little weird is adverbs go after the verb. Remember that we learned that rule that adverbs go after the verb. So your verb is your AV baby, not your PP baby. So that means you're going to say j'en ai beaucoup, and then acheter will go at the very end. So beaucoup will, as an adverb, be in the middle of the adverbial phrase, or the verb phrase. So j'en ai beaucoup acheté. I of them have a lot bought or purchased. D'accord? If you put beaucoup at the end, I'm not going to mark you off. That's just such a minor thing you'll eventually get, but little warning that is a thing. All right, doing the practice now. These are split into simple sentences, modal sentences, and past tense sentences to make it easy on you, and I'll do that on the quiz as well. So doing the first one together, and then I'll let you just use the notes as reference for the rest. As-tu de l'argent? Do you have money? If you want to say, yeah, I have some. D'accord? Careful not to do this. J'ai, and like I have, and then en. Don't do it. Pronouns go before the verbs, so you should just say j'en ai. D'accord? That means I have some. Oui, j'en ai. I of it have. D'accord? So, go ahead and do the practice in Google Forms, or many of you will do it in class. And That's basically it. It's basically the same as e and the same as object pronouns that we did earlier in the year. So should be mostly easy.